Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Joanna. It is my great pleasure, on behalf of my entire team of Art and Science Note, to welcome all of you who are with us today on Zoom and streaming, and to open this unusual event converging art and science. I'm utmost happy to see so many people connected from different countries, representing various environments to capture the futures. We are living in times of incredibly rapid scientific progress that radically changes our traditional horizon, our cultural paradigms and values, the perception of ourselves and our environment. Progress that gives us powers that a human being has never imagined. Powers of shaping our futures. Powers that should engage each of us, citizens, local, micro, and global societies. I am highly convinced that the growing synergy between artists and scientists contributes strongly to growing awareness and engagement of society, but also creates platforms for necessary, compulsory communication, for exchanging knowledge, experiences, various points of view and visions, which empower us to wisely direct ourselves towards the world we want to live, towards what we do want to become. I would like to express my particular thanks to Professor Andrea Schubert, Chair of Plant Biology Europe 2021 Organizing Committee from University of Turin, Federation of European Societies of Plant Biology, to Professor Przemysław Boitashek, member of the Scientific Organizing Committee of Plant Biology Europe 2021, and to Dr. Karin Metzlaff, Executive Director of the European Plant Science Organization, who made the Art and Synergy program at the Plant Biology Europe Congress possible. I would like also to thank Lucrezia De Torre and team of the International Congress Center in Turin, as well as highly committed ISN team in Berlin for their hard and fantastic work. Last but not least, all my sincere thanks are especially dedicated to artists involved in this superb and essential communication through art, creating bridges between various areas of highest science performances, so present at this vibrant European Congress and large, diverse public domain. I would like now to hand over to Professor Andrea Schubert the microphone with the first key to open the door of our virtual exhibition. Professor Schubert, please take the microphone.
Thank you. I'm Andrea Schubert. I'm the organizer of this Plant Biology Europe 2021 Congress. I'm from the University of Turin. I'm a plant biologist, of course. This Congress is part of a series of biennial congresses jointly organized by the Federation of European Societies of Plant Biology and by the European Society the EPSO, so the European Plant Science Organization, excuse me. This meeting was scheduled for 2020 in Turin, but the organization of the meeting had to be modified. When the meeting was nearly organized, we had to stop everything because of the COVID health emergency. And that was moved to 2021. And the Congress will start tomorrow morning in online format. It is a big Congress. We have more than 500 attendees. All aspects of plant biology, or let's say most aspects of plant biology, are going to be dealt with in the Congress. And so it was with great interest that I received the proposal to join somehow this Congress with this event concerning another way of looking at nature, I would say, concentrating on an artistic point of view. And so together with the organization of this initiative, we set up this collaboration, let's say. So we'll have the Congress starting tomorrow morning, and we have this exhibition, which will be performed today and then streamed later on, but also other events that will be connected somehow to the Congress in the next days. I'm sure this will be successful and this will be interesting for everybody. Myself, besides before my biological education, I had classical studies. I studied Greek, Latin, and history of art. And so I found this very interesting, and I'm sure all this will contribute to a better understanding for everybody of different aspects of the natural world. So thank you for this collaboration, and I'm sure we'll have a nice success from that. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Schubert, for your words. And I am now particularly happy to pass to Professor Przemysław Boitashek the microphone with the second key to open a bit wider the door to this art exhibition merged with European Scientific Congress. The role of Professor Przemysław Boitashek in developing bridges between scientific and artistic milieu cannot be overestimated. He has been always so courageously supporting our crazy ideas, including art and science education project Rhizosphere, the big network of small worlds, as a scientist, Dean of the Faculty of Biology, and now Vice Rector of Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznań. Professor Boitashek, please take the microphone.
Thank you, Joanna. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, this is my small address here is, I would say, historical, because yes, it's true. Our connections between arts and science are lasting for so many years that I can't remember when we've been trying for the first time to organize the Art and Science Club at our faculty. It was so many years ago, with all the discussions, with all the informal meetings, leading in many directions. But I would say that as a plant biologist, I am particularly happy that this plant biology connection is the strongest one after so many years. And yes, it's very nice to see all of you, to see where these projects, I should say, are now for that moment, starting from the very small projects in some, let's say, middle-sized city in Poland, like Poznań, and now spreading all over Europe, the world of interconnections between plant biology and arts, and creating this completely, maybe not completely, but creating a completely another point of view, another angle of view on both on science and on arts. And these connections are providing very fruitful points of observation, points of knowledge, points of behavior, whatever you will call it. So I'm hoping that today's event and all the events during the conference will be very informative, will be very nice, and I am wishing you all the best for the whole weekend, for the whole conference, and as long as the exhibition will last, I think that it will always provide us with very nice moments. So Joanna, I'm fingers crossed everything will be okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Primo, for your encouraging words. And now I am also very delighted to pass the virtual microphone with the third key to Dr. Karin Metzlaff to unveil us the importance of art and science synergy and the impact of art for the visibility of plant science in Europe. And Dr. Karin Metzlaff, with her strong affinity to art and science, is one of our pillars, bringing our convictions not only to PB 2021, but also to the EU Horizon 22 funded CHIC project. So dear Karin, microphone is yours.
Thank you very much, Joanna. Yes, hello everybody. I'm really excited about this first exhibition from the Art and Science Network that I can actually join. Of course, as Andrea said as well, we would have loved to do this in Turin, but yes, we make the best of it. We do this online. So I'm really curious about it. I actually met Joanna some years ago in Poland at a conference Przemysław invited us to, and we went for dinner afterwards. And there we discovered that we both have this passion for art and science. And we really enjoyed it to talk to each other, and we immediately had a lot of ideas what we could actually do. And for instance, I was at an art school as a student, so I learned classical guitar. I took courses several years in ceramics, and I really love art. And I think it's an excellent combination to bring what you think is really separate, but really bring it together as we used to do this centuries ago, as we use it from school or from universities. And for instance, we organize every other year the International Fascination of Plants Day. And Joanna and Przemysław and the artists, they always organize really exciting events in Poland. So this is something I'm really grateful, and it would be good if more scientists and artists would pick up this idea and do this in their own city or region. And as Joanna said, when I was contacted by Dirk, who will introduce the Chicory Consortium afterwards, to help building this EU project, when I was reading the call text and it actually asked for innovative ways of communication, I immediately had this idea to invite Joanna and the Art and Science Network to this project. And I'm really happy that we did it. And I'm very grateful to Joanna and to André, and as well to the artist teams, to Anna and Marille, and to Alex and Jill, who started to work together with the scientists in this project. And we are all excited about the outcome we will see tonight already, and then hopefully next year in a physical exhibition as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. So for all of you, I hope you will enjoy the exhibition today or in the coming days or weeks, and be inspired for your own future work. When you like it, I think you should contact the art school in your city or the biology faculty in your city or region and collaborate with them in future. And of course, the other wish I have, we organize next year around the 18th of May, the next International Fascination of Plants Day. So all the artists, all the scientists who are here now or in the coming days and weeks who like this, get together, make something exciting that you can share with the public your passion for art and science. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Karin, for your inspiring words. And yeah, the exhibition Capture the Futures, the root to root networks and beyond, bridges in fact two complex art and science projects. The ever-growing Rhizosphere, the big network of small worlds, and EU Horizon 22 CHIC Consortium as an artist in residence or rather in labs program. And these two projects would not evolve without passion and commitment of so many people. And it is my deepest need to thank the rector of the University of Arts in Poznań, Professor Wojciech, and Dean of the Faculty of Art Education and Curatorial Studies, Professor Izabela Kowalczyk, for their long support for my interdisciplinary activities. And I would like to thank especially my scientist colleagues from Rhizosphere team, Professor Malena Lembicz and Professor Władysław Polcyn from Adam Mickiewicz University, and Piotr Słomczewski, artist and my assistant at the Studio for Transdisciplinary Projects and Research. Actually, the concept of this exhibition initially developed within the framework of this interdisciplinary project, Rhizosphere, the big network of small worlds, inspired by research on plant network strategies and the wood wide web. In further development, exhibition incorporated the presentation of artists involved in the EU-CHIC Consortium and this art and science or artists in labs program, who focus actually the artistic research on the chicory root. And I would like to thank Professor Dirk Bosch from Wageningen University and Research, the coordinator of the CHIC Consortium, and all scientists who have been supporting our Artists in Labs program. Dear Professor Bosch, could you please introduce us to your experiences with artists in CHIC Labs?
Yes, Joanna, thank you very much for giving the opportunity to talk here about the Artist in Lab program that we run. It's indeed very fascinating, and I'm very glad what Karen told, that we indeed incorporated that in our CHIC project. Because I'm coordinator of the CHIC project, which is an EU project, 17 partners, 12 countries, and it is about a crop called chicory, root chicory, a small crop grown in the south of Holland and in Belgium and the north of France. And from the roots of that crop, like sugar beet type of roots, dietary fibers are isolated that are used in bars and yogurts and stimulate gut health. And the aim of this project is to generate new varieties which are even more healthier, making better fibers, and also make medicinal terpenes. I'm a chemist by training, and for me it has been very fascinating to also include for a large part of the CHIC project is also about communicating about it. Communication and interaction with stakeholders, policymakers, farmers, supermarkets, and of course the general public to tell what we do and why we do that. So communication is very important in the CHIC project, and scientists like me, I'm a chemist, I'm used to do that via scientific channels, via journals, scientific journals, news, Twitter perhaps, and we tell in a rational and explanatory way what we do. And that does not always interest or attract people. That is, that's what I note. Artists communicate in a different way. They use different channels and different methods. They have their artworks, and it often involves emotion. And it complements very well what scientists do, at least what I do. And that's how I see it. How it works in practice in the CHIC projects, we have this Artist in Residence program that is run by Joanna and her team. And the artists, Anna and Alex, and Jill and Marille, have visited several laboratories in the CHIC consortium, like 5 different laboratories in different countries. And in these countries, they do different experiments, and I guess they let themselves be inspired by what is happening there. So they also visit Wageningen, and they talk to people. They ask lots and lots of questions. They are very curious. They see the laboratories, they want to see it, they want to see the experiments being done. Actually, they are very eager to do the experiments themselves. That's not always possible because of safety or because of expertise that you need to run equipment, but they are very eager, very curious, very interested, and very fascinated, it looked to me, about what we do. And that, of course, is very interesting. That is interesting. It's nice to see people so interested in what you are doing, stimulating. So that was my first important learning in working with artists. Also, they ask surprising questions and make surprising associations and connections. I think I should have written down when we talked about it a year ago, because yeah, visiting laboratories was a bit difficult in Corona time. But I can remember two things as to illustrate it is, could you translate molecules or experiments into sounds? How would this molecule sound like? Well, to me, that was bizarre at that moment, but actually it might help to explain to people that don't know about molecules what a molecule can do or what differences are between molecules. And also the relation to philosophy. What is natural or what is unnatural? And is that important actually? And because of that, I myself learned a lot what other people might look like at what we scientists do, or how we might have it look like if we want to explain better to others what we are doing. So after visiting the labs, they went back home and to work on their works of arts, Biotechnology from the Blue Flower by Anna and Alex, and Aftertaste by Jill and Marille. And we sometimes get to see a glimpse of what they are doing. They make you very curious, but I am full of trust, and also I have to, what will come out. We will get a few of that this week, I guess, and also what will happen when people look at these artworks. But for now, I can only say that it has been a very stimulating experience. I learned a lot, and it has been also fun, which is also important, I think. So thank you, Joanna. Thank you, team of Joanna, and thank you particularly the artist for being in our labs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dirk. And thank you also for supportive words. Because one of the missions of artists today is to question and to bring the scientific discoveries and challenges to the wider sphere of human experience and imagination. And I would like again to draw your particular attention to all artists who, through their art, weave a dynamic growing network of interdisciplinary, intercultural, and interpersonal connections. Thus, I would like very much to welcome Bartetzki, Marta Bączyk, Anna Dumitriu, Marille Hahne, Małgorzata Kaczmarek, Larys Lubowicki, Pei-Ying, Paulina Misiak, Alex May, Jill Scott, Piotr Słomczewski, Maria Subczyńska, Jadwiga Subczyńska, and Joanna Taukin. But this is not the end of the people who should be especially addressed once more today. I would like to express my gratitude to all team of Art and Science Node for their hard work and commitment, and especially our curator, Dr. Karolina Wlazło-Malinowska, Piotr Słomczewski, Alphonse Schroeder, Arek Rataj, Efi Metodiu, Pablo Ardila, as well as Paul Alonso and Daniel De La Torre. And I would like also to thank all contributors who are contributing to our accompanying art and science events. And last but not least, I would like to thank all Art and Science Node members and friends for their long-term trust and support and for their presence today. And to all of you who gathered in front of small and big screens for your significant, meaningful presence. Thank you. So due to advances of sciences, we are becoming more and more aware that the structure of our reality is based on dynamic, interactive networks of constantly processed data, from neural networks to the World Wide Web, from river basins to economic flow. In every microsecond, there are numerous interactions, known as well as unknown, strong and hyperfine, at all levels of our cross-link reality. Today, we direct our attention to roots and root communication systems, which have been successfully evolving for millions of years, searching for the wisdom of nature, which would help us to overcome today's crises and to develop more sustainable futures, to capture the futures. Dear Karolina, please would you be so kind to take now the virtual floor and guide us to the roots, to root networks and beyond.
With great pleasure, Joanna, thank you. And before I begin, I would like to once again thank everybody that joined us on both Zoom as platform and live stream on Facebook to our opening and the video guided tour that I will begin in just a second. So let everything begin. With this commented video guided tour, I will walk you through the fully virtual exhibition, Capture the Futures, our biotech planet, the roots to roots, networks and beyond, bridging the worlds of art, science and technology. It involves interdisciplinary conversations, which offer original paths to explore and reflect on interconnections between environmental, cultural, and socio-political issues that shape both our present time and our futures. It provides an international survey of artworks and art projects created by artists inspired by scientific research and collaborating with scientists in the field of plant sciences, also biotechnology. On the search to pathways to renewal and recovery, we turn not only to the ingenuity of human creativity, new scientific discoveries, or technological solutions. We explore also the inspiration coming from the biological worlds flourishing around root systems, the highly effective networks of the rhizosphere. Thus, understanding the world as a multifaceted environment gave rise to the concept of a root-like 3D interface. In its form, it refers to the root networks, while in its idea to the Wood Wide Web concept of the underground world of communication. On your way to explore the artworks, you will find yourself passing through its subsequent levels. In the end, you will move around or even inside a root-like labyrinth, traveling through and experiencing our biotech planet. So we envisioned our global human network as the rhizosphere, expanding not only under our feet, but also everywhere around, entwining the earth. It forms a delicate network of symbiosis, diversity, and interdependencies. We connect and interact with this biotech planet, endlessly exchanging information. Our actions influence the network well-being. Our virtual exhibition combines various artistic approaches, practices, and technologies. The visuals you just saw constitute the structure of the first of its component, the original website. Together with augmented reality app, they give a broad perspective of experiencing the featured artworks. By opening the exhibition on the website, you move inside the interface, and by traveling through the scenes, you will explore the artworks. You can control your journey in two different ways. By using bottom menu, you select specific artwork. By moving with the arrows, you can go forward or backward, and then your experience will be linear. The latter option will follow the complete narrative of the exhibition. And now about the augmented reality app. You can get the Art and Science Note application from both Google Play and App Store. Inside the app, our interface visualizing the exhibition's concept is used as a structure to move around it and explore artwork by artwork. Upon arrival to the app, guide yourself through the tutorial to get to know all the functionalities. And then once you enter the augmented reality environment, no matter where you are, it can be a room in your home, it can be a park, an urban surrounding, a street, or a forest, you can begin your journey through the exhibition. You will place the interface in space with the help of the markers and walk around it. 13 nodes inspired by the symbiotic nodes formed by Rhizobium bacteria and plant root systems are all interactive. When approaching them closely, they reveal the artwork each of them holds. You can see the notes have 4 different colors, created in respect to 4 groups that the artworks were categorized by. Green for hybrid realities, purple for living systems, orange for tracing links, and red for shifting horizons. I will now guide you through all 15 artworks featured in the exhibition, prepared by 15 amazing artists. The order of the presentation will follow the discourse of the exhibition that you can easily see when visiting the exhibition's website. So we go to the first group, hybrid realities, containing 3 artworks and art projects. They all look into interconnections between biological and digital layers of reality. We see more and more that the digital networks and strategies have more in common with the biological processes than we can grasp. We will begin our route through the rhizosphere-like structure with the chicory root and our sensory apparatus. The Aftertaste project by Jill Scott and Marille Hahne is prepared in the course of the Art and Science Node Artist in Residence program of the CHIC project. Jill Scott is Professor of Art and Science Research and co-founder of the famous Artist in Labs program, while Marille Hahne is Professor in filmmaking, specializing in films about art and science collaboration. In their practice, they cross art, ecology, and neuroscience disciplines. The artists explore the relation between sensory perception characteristics and biodiversity. While immersing into the artwork, you will discover the complexity of data and structure interactions. Aftertaste reveals how we are constantly and incessantly fusing with the outside world at the molecular level. The multimedia experience mimics the sensation of flavor as a combination of smell, taste, and texture, on the example of chicory-derived 24 molecules. The finished physical interactive installation will be on display from 2022. Now we can dive into the interaction with the help of the augmented reality element. You will explore their 3 scenes derived from 3 molecules group found in chicory, terpenes, phenolics, and inulins, and interact with the big tongue. From chicory roots, we move on to the chicory blue flower, and in fact to the biotechnology from the blue flower by Anna Dumitriu and Alex May. Anna works with bioart, sculpture, installation, and digital media to explore the human relationship to infectious diseases, synthetic biology, robotics. The artistic practice of Alex links art, science, and technology through a wide range of digital new media, such as VR, AR, photogrammetry, and others. Biotechnology from the blue flower refers to the root chicory's flower and its symbolic meaning. The human perspective of understanding the natural world is translated here into the cultural heritage that unites us with the environment. While recalling the time of Goethe and industrial revolution, the artwork takes upon the topic of the ongoing biotechnological one as we reinvent the definition of what is natural. So for now, the gene-edited chicory root plants are not allowed to leave the laboratories, but through the newly made interactive augmented reality component in the exhibition's application, you can feel your world with quite immense digital representations of the chicory flowers. Wherever you are, a live chicory jungle can surround you in a matter of seconds. Today's biotechnological transformations are also a topic undertaken in Rhizome Papilla by Joanna Hoffmann with soundscape by Bartetzki. Joanna is not only ASN's chair, She's also leader of Studio for Transdisciplinary Projects and Research at the University of Arts in Poznan, an artist working with various multimedia technologies. Andrzej is composer, sound designer, and sound engineer, creating his own musical and media art projects, such as tape music, performances with live electronics, video, and sound installations. Rhizome papilla was inspired by the rhizosphere and symbiotic relationship between plants and the nitrogen-fixing bacteria. The artwork refers to the transformation of human identity in the world where organic and inorganic system will merge into a new hybrid whole. This multi-sensual poetic narrative immerses the viewer in a complex, multidimensional, semi-biological information network. You can experience it in VR with the use of VR goggles and 360 degrees video available on the website, or as augmented reality, where your surrounding will gently blend into the spherical 2 parts animation. When experiencing the artwork in any of its form, you will be captured in a virtual cocoon created by a densifying data network, where cellular structures are intertwined with a web of urban connections, and where the perception of various scales of what is internal and what is external gets blurred. We head on to the second group, the living systems. Plasticity and stability of the networks depend on various factors, one being the interconnectivity between various life forms. On many occasions, we can clearly see the connections between man and his environment being fragmented, if not lost. The second group in the discourse contains 4 artworks, each looking into the condition of our own relationship with various other non-human actors. By questioning the quality of our links with the natural world, artists aim to raise more awareness about their importance. We begin with Broken Links by Maria Subczyńska. The artist works at the interface between art and science, biology, and spirituality. She creates art inspired by interspecies communication. By her own words, she feels like an ambassador of fungi, plants, stones, minerals, animals, and other non-human actors. Broken Links began as a performative installation questioning the anthropocentric attitude. This ongoing project is presented on the exhibition's website with the performance video documentation with music track prepared by Maria with Siergiej Kanarski. It underlines the importance of maintaining the ecosystem's equilibrium and reconnecting with their networks. Golden Mycelium, that constitutes the augmented reality element of the artwork, presents fungi as a central piece, a guide to recovery of the broken relationship between man and nature. We follow with Regnum Animale by Larys Lubowicki. Larys is not only visual artist and photographer, also a doctor of dentistry. In his artistic practice, he uses such media as installation, photography, and taxidermy. In his work, he deals with perception of the material world, corporeality, death, and mythologies related to the animal world. When exploring the website, you will find a selection of photos depicting shelves packed with stuffed animals, animal skeletons, breeding farms, and zoological didactic specimen. Each of the photo is shown twice. Firstly, as the original photography, and secondly, featured as the exhibit in the natural surroundings, close to the last remaining part of the European primeval forest of Białowieża. In Regnum Animale, Larys poses a question about the definition of natural environment in the modern world. In the augmented reality app, you will be able to get acquainted with details of one of the photos. It is Regnum Vitae #1. You will see and experience it up close, where even the small nameplates and those animals packed in the shelves, details are well visible. We now move along to the art project Biophilia by Pei-Ying. In her artistic discourse, Pei-Ying is particularly interested in building common discussion ground for different cultural perspectives. She investigates the boundaries between the visible and the invisible, the living and non-living. Biophilia art project explores the world of viruses, which despite their importance and omnipresence elude our perception. It consists of a speculative cookbook written in year 2068, examining in retrospective how humans have started to develop viral cuisines that extend our sensorial experience. The complete work additionally includes videos demonstrating the moment of dining encounters between humans and viruses, a dinner performance, and a long roll with a printed list of over 6,000 viruses known to humans. This list is constantly updated, and it actually serves the data for the augmented reality part of the work. It forms a viral cloud that surrounds the viewer wherever he or she goes, thus underlying the immensity of the invisible. Law of Relationship and Interdependence by Małgorzata Kaczmarek is a photographic documentation of a performance completed in 2017, available on the exhibition's website. The artist's practice combines spatial, social, and performative projects, often with the background coming from the natural sciences. She is especially interested in the social and physiological aspects of plants functioning. Law of Relationship and Interdependence presents a concept of a wearable habitat. To express the dynamic between natural and technological environments, artists experiment with various tools and strategies. Tracing Ling as a group contains 4 artworks. By turning to technology and human creativity as a way to process artistic reflection, some works emphasize the hybrid quality of reality. The route through Tracing Links will open with animation titled Morphism by Marta Bączyk. She relates to her closest environment, her family rhizome. She constructs her works from existing situations, fragments of everyday life, and man-made products. In her animation, Marta retraces silhouettes of her relatives. She creates a mycelium-like network in which individual beings cannot be distinguished from others. Retracing also relates to the passing time and passing of the information from one generation to another. You will be able to watch the soothing contemplative animation with both the website and as the augmented reality element. The Algorithmic Photography series is an ongoing project by Alex May. In his practice, Alex often takes upon the topic of passing time, the process of memories formation, and how actually they are recorded through and changed by the eye of contemporary technologies. With the use of digital cameras and an original computer code, Alex captures the passing time and celebrates motion in a unique way. Those patterns of movements in a way or another exceeding our perception or just eluding our attentions are a murmuration of starlings over Brighton Marina, ants following their scent trails over wooden poles at Eden projects, trees, flowers, and crows at Charleston House, or fish in the sea on a beach in Greece. And there are many, many more. Similarly, use of an originally prepared code is guiding two following artworks. The first one is Contactless Root Interface by Piotr Słomczewski. Piotr works in the area of interactive multimedia installations and new technologies. Contactless root interface uses a metaphor of the root to draw connections between the virtual and physical realities. It was originally designed for use in a physical space. Over there, people's movements would be captured by the camera and then retraced in real time onto a projection of a dynamic and ever-changing graphic network. On the exhibition's website, you will be able to interact by drawing your own network. And in Art and Science node Augmented Reality app, the root-like form will draw the connection between virtual and physical environments, merging with the surroundings thanks to its transparent characteristics. The last of the artworks in this group is Define Not by Diana Taukin. Diana is an architect and furniture designer. In her practice, she analyzes the world and encodes it with the use of the algorithmic approach and computational tools. In Define Not, the artist underlines the importance of nature-based inspirations, using biomimicry as a tool for perfecting and diversification of the human design. She chooses to focus on the process instead of the product. Define Not is a definition of furniture which does not determine its final shape. An interactive algorithm generates in real time unique chairs. The users can influence the result by reshaping certain parameters of the furniture. The augmented reality piece will feature an example of a Define Not chair. Once you will place it in your space, it will grow before your eyes. The exhibition's discourse is concluded with artwork speculating over the possible futures, offering various perspectives. The group titled Shifting Horizons features 4 artworks. They reveal the feeling of anxiety resulting from the growing awareness about the disruptive influence of human activities over the environment. Yet they also look for possibilities and new directions we may turn to for the benefit of the future of all life forms. The travel through this group begins with Drifting Particles by Jadwiga Subczyńska. Jadwiga uses a wide range of mediums, including plant gelatin casts, holographic installations, photography, and video. Her works revolve around the new materiality of the Anthropocene, extraterrestrial vision of the world, and an idea of coming back to the roots. Drifting Particles presents a vision of an intelligent substance that takes control of the post-apocalyptic reality. The biomass occupies dead water reservoirs that man has condemned to exhaustion from life. The intelligent biomass often takes anthropomorphic shapes. In this gesture, artist comments on the condition of our connection to nature. The art project consists of a video and series of objects made with plant gelatin casts in form of human body elements embedded with seeds, grains, minerals. Due to the sensitive ephemeral material, they undergo a quite quick decomposition. So drifting particles in augmented reality will place you underwater. Once you enter the artwork, you will be able to see a biomass shaped as human face sticking to a floating trunk of a tree. We head on to the call-in, a series of small installations by Paulina Misiak. Paulina holds 2 master's diplomas in visual arts and pharmacy. In her practice, she questions the human perspective and the mechanisms that guide and solidify our behavior patterns. In Call-In, she challenges the viewer to go beyond his or her own centrifugal perspective. The art pieces call us in, invite us to reflect on 3 situations. With medical in cycle, our situation in the face of disease or treatment. In technical in cycle, on the presence of technology in interpersonal relations. And in natural in cycle, on the superior role of men over the natural world. The augmented reality component of this artwork reveals 4 of these pieces belonging to the medical in and the technical in cycles. They form a composition levitating up in the air. You can get close to them to see them in the details while changing your perspective. The second word by Joanna Hoffmann and Andrzej Bartetzki featured in the exhibition is titled Vitruvian Woman poem. In the exhibition, you experience it as a video on the website and as a performative poem in augmented reality. The piece belongs to the wider interactive multimedia project Vitruvian Woman, recalling the Renaissance tradition of humanisty and reorienting relations between a human being and nature. Today, though in a different cultural, scientific, and social context, we perceive ourselves again as creative participants of nature rather than detached observers or users. A poem draws an imaginative thread through time, space, and body, merging text, sound, and movement. The exhibition's discourse ends with a second of Jadwiga Subczyńska's artworks titled Marsquakes. The artist envisions that the colonization of Mars may be viewed not necessarily as an escape or abandonment, but as a quest for new qualities. The Anthropocene brought us new materiality. Our everyday life is moving into digital dimension more and more. The idea of digital plants is a vision of transferring human needs for existing with flora to another level. The plants are the sum of data drifting in the air. They are visible to a human only to make them feel good with the calming effect of green. With augmented reality app, you will see one of them. The virtual plants don't need roots nor soil because they do have internet instead. The above visions and pathways enforce the necessity to actively take care of the present day for the benefit of the future. So we have reached the end of our guided tour, and with it, we encourage you to take your own journey now. If you haven't yet downloaded the app, you will find it on Google Play and App Store, free to download under the name of Art and Science Node. We advise to use Wi-Fi connection when downloading the app due to its size. But once you have it on your device, and it can be not only smartphone, but also tablets, you will not need the internet anymore. In the chat, you will now find the materials with the links to both exhibition's website and the app on both platforms. And I would like to invite everybody to join us into free events that will follow in the next days. So tomorrow and on Tuesday, we invite you to an interactive online cooking workshop, Let's Eat Chic Gourmet Aftertaste, related to the Aftertaste project, that on the first day will be also partly live streamed. And on the 30th of June and 1st of July, we invite you to Art and Science Talks. On Wednesday, it will be Biotechnology from the Blue Flower, the unnatural that too is natural, talk between Art and Science Node Artists in Residence program, Anna, Dumitriu and Alex May, and Chic scientists. And on 1st of July, on Thursday, Professor Joanna Hoffmann will lead the talk on art and science and technology education, the future of STEAM education. But it is merely a beginning. In the next months, we will be presenting artworks, hopefully with help of their authors, in a form of short live online meetings and presentation. So please keep updated with Art and Science Node website, because there will be more to come, and we will be informing about the coming events over there. And with this word, I would like to thank you for your attention, and I will give back the floor and the virtual microphone over to Joanna. You have to unmute yourself, Joanna.
Sorry for that. Dear Karolina, thank you so much for your exhaustive introduction to the exhibition. And I would like only to add that we are living in the world of not static objects, but processes. And that concerns also the exhibition website and AR application. So watch out for exciting updates. Some of them are already on the way. And do not miss our accompanying events presented by Karolina. Already tomorrow, you can learn together with artists, scientists, and the world pastry champion how to make your favorite cakes using inulin instead of sugar. On Wednesday, join our art and science talk about unnatural, which is too natural. And we finish the Plant Biology Europe Congress on Thursday with the insight into the future of interdisciplinary education. So stay with us and the Art and Science Synergy program. So now I would like all of you to join me for the symbolic gesture of cutting the ribbon. I don't know if it's visible. Yeah, done. And now I can officially announce the opening of Art and Science Synergy Program and Plant Biology Europe 2021. And now the official part of the opening is over, and it's time to open bottles of champagne and to raise toast for the futures, for the growing synergy between artists and scientists, and for all artists, scientists, contributors, supporters, and of course, all art and science team. And as Karolina already said, we would like to encourage you to take your time and explore various forms of the exhibition. And you can also stay with us for less formal chat. So I would like to invite you to switch on camera so we can see each other better. And thank you again for all and for this great opening, great evening.
And with this, we can also thank the Facebook guests that joined us, because we will be now ending the streaming.